Hello, hi, good evening. This is Faisal Hassan, your member provincial parliament for York Southwestern, joining you again. Joining you. Just give me. Let me get my volumes down. Yes. Good evening, friends and neighbors, brothers and sisters. This is Faisal Hassan, your member provincial parliament, for joining you again another Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. And I know tonight, Friday, is also an important Friday, of course, because it's the first day of the advanced polls. Before we talk about that, I want to welcome you and also those who are joining Instagram and those also who are joining us also Facebook, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed my YouTube, please do so. And thank you, folks who are just joined Instagram and Mulki saying hello and others, welcome. Before we begin, I wish to acknowledge at this time the land that we now know as York Southwestern is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, Métis people. Welcome, folks, again, another Friday. I know it's beautiful out there, and it's also the first day of the advanced polls. I believe in our riding there are about 5 locations in the riding. This morning I have voted for Hawa Mire, who's our federal NDP candidate. And the advance voting for the 44th federal election is opened, and it starts today, Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, and also a Monday from the 10th until the 13th, anytime between 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tonight also it will be open until 9 p.m. at various locations, and there are 5 locations in our riding. I know many of you, those who are living Kill Street all the way to Western Road, are voting on. There might be exceptions in between, but my poll was 50 full staff. And there wasn't really anyone there. Very light. It was fast and quick to vote, and so just take advantage on these 3 days coming. Today until 9 p.m. it will be open, and also tomorrow opens again 9 a.m. and also Sunday 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. and also Monday 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. and also just bring your Elections Canada form with an ID, and if you don't have that, also you can still vote it. You need just 2 ID to show there. Well, folks who are joining us, welcome, and also shortly I will be expecting a very special guest who will be joining us shortly. Before that, I want also to welcome you, those who are joining Instagram, Facebook, as well as also YouTube and also Twitter. Thank you. Also this week, folks, school have begun, and our young people are excited to go to school yesterday, and that was an excellent. And hopefully this government have been penny pitching, instead of investing in ventilations, investing in small size class sizes and putting resources in schools, rather than cutting 800 million budget. That was not a really a leadership. We'll talk that a little bit later about the education. Quickly, I want you also to bring about there is also a community meeting that the city councillor is organizing September 14th. That will be Tuesday, and that meeting, I do believe that to continue working with the stakeholders and all levels of government to ensure public safety in our community. Measures are taken seriously. We have to take, the community safety seriously in our community. The Falstaff neighborhood has suffered several tragedies resulting in the loss of a bright, talented young man who have been attacked in their own community, in their own homes, minding their own business. And that was so sad, and it has happened again 2019. And also there have been some cases where folks can just come through into the open fences and just shooting kids at the age of 12 and younger, mining and staying in their own community. And that's also something we are all concerned about, and we must take it seriously. And the community has met with the city officials many occasions and outline some specific requests, such as improved lightings, repaired fencing, and gated entrances on both entrances of the east and also the west of the community on the THC property. And welcome folks who are joining on Instagram. And I would like to inform the community of the meeting. Of course, our Ward 5 City Councillor, Francis Nunziata, has organized on the September 14th, and many city officials are invited. And you are also invited as you live on Maple Park, Maple Leaf community, as well as also Falstaff, to make sure that your concerns in the communities, those who rent and those who own properties, can come together, because we are all in it together. It's very important that all of you participate that, so we get things done. And I'm happy to work all levels of representatives in our community to make sure that we put the people of York Southwestern first. This meeting will include representatives from the city of Toronto and provides an excellent, in my opinion, opportunity for residents to reiterate again their priorities on community safety. I encourage everyone to take part in the event taking place at the Maple Leaf Park on September 14th from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And of course, the organizers from the office of the Francis Nunziata, Ward 5 City Councillor, have asked participants are asked to bring a mask to ensure the safety of all participants, to protect that, which is also very important, and also to make sure that once and for all we come together and we deal with the important issues. We know that also the community, the Falstaff have suffered for so long. And I'm also want to report to you that I have met the incoming president and the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, Jack Sherman, who has welcomed me. And he is interested. He is keen to getting things done, and we want all the leadership in the city to, support things that have been approved earlier to get done. And I also want to thank here Kevin Mashman, the previous president and the CEO, who was putting the community, in our community, really first, and he was very responsive to the concerns of the community. He have received the petition from you, which I have tabled at the legislature. We've got also some resources to get some cameras and lightings, and we're happy also to continue to advocate more repairs, maintenances of the TCHC properties across the city. And we know that there have been so much neglect with regards to repairs, that the previous government of Kathleen Wynne and Dalton McGuinty has neglected it. And we need to make sure that they are supported so that they can also carry on maintaining a quality and also a decent properties that are looked after, that are well looked after. And I think this is also a couple of things that will improve the safety that the community have stated is actually closing the fences that are require repairs, that are open, and closing them, and making sure that the entrances of the east and the west are also gated and also stationed. The constables of the TCHC constables, who are many, many of them, and I do believe the priority should be in our community because we have suffered many life losses, and the community has been under attack by people who don't live in the community, and that's also should be also priority. And I think this is a great a meeting that the city councillor has called for, and I will be delighted this public meeting that I'm also going to be there to hear also your concerns as the city councillor chairs and also invites other guests to take part and to participate. So that's also something you should also put on your schedule if you leave a full staff and also a Maple Leaf community, and also in many occasions also those who are homeowners and also those who rent. We are all in it together to solve the community and the safety issues of the community together. And I also know some of you have said that as you turn on Jane towards Falstaff, the city lightings, it's not working there. And I've also shared that with the city, and hopefully we can also share with the city councillor again on September 14th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Shortly, folks, will be expecting a special guest to join us, and we'll be happy to take some of your questions and to also hear that vision of our special guest. As soon as our special guest joins us, I'll be happy to let you know who that special guest is. And folks, today also the advance polls have opened, and it is very important election. I don't know if you have seen or watched the debate last night, and that was a debate that will give you an opportunity, to make that, to actually make your decision to, and also don't wait, September 20th, you have an opportunity to vote today and also tomorrow, which is Saturday and Sunday, and also on Monday from September 10th to the September 13th. And the polls are open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So take advantage. This morning when I went to a Falstaff community center, there were basically it was a light, and it was fast and quick. And folks, tell your friends and neighbors to go and vote. Tomorrow is a Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you vote early, and it actually pays because you won't be worried about rush hours or anything like that on Monday on election day, because many people will be showing up at that day. But advance polls is an opportunity for you to go out and vote quickly. Okay. Well, folks, I will be expecting shortly our special guest to join us. And before that, I will just also talk about this week. This week, as you know, schools has begun, and well, quickly, I will be announcing our special guest. It is our federal NDP candidate, Hawa Mire. And she will be taking also your questions, and she will be also happy to hear also your comment. If you have also voted, you can also share on the comments as well, also, so that also you can also share with your friends and those who are joining us on Twitter, and welcome, and those who are joining us on YouTube, Instagram, and also Facebook page, Faisal Hassan. Welcome. You can also share your friends, folks, as soon as our guest joins us, and I know she's going to be busy. She's going to also continue conversing, knocking more doors. And Hawa has just joined us. Hawa, welcome. How are you
Hi,
doing?
I'm doing okay. It's been a bit busy today, but thanks for having me.
Well, welcome. I know how you are busy. I know you are a great candidate. You have really invested a lot in our community. You have been part of the community, and I think this is the time to send a strong message to Ottawa. Welcome first. Usually every Friday. Usually it was Saturdays from 3 to 4, but we've switched from 7 to 8 Fridays, and today is our second Friday, and also it coincides for the advanced polls, which has just opened this morning. And welcome first. And how are you feeling?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I'm feeling good. I think there's a lot of momentum with the team and across York Southwestern. Everywhere I go, people keep saying they really want to see some changes happen. They really feel like they just haven't gotten the support or the services they've needed over the last 6 years, unfortunately. And they want a much stronger representative in Ottawa. So I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to be running and canvassing, and we only have 10 days left in this election, so lots to do.
Absolutely, folks. We have a great candidate, Hawa Mire, and it's an opportunity to send a strong message to Ottawa. We have seen the last 6 years, and we have also, as you know, as I've been fighting Queen's Park, we have been an afterthought in our community, and also the majority of the people who other parties sent us to run in our community, they do not live here. And that's also a fact consideration for you to think about when you also cast your ballot. And how I know there are many issues in our community. And I also welcome folks, if anyone also has quick questions for how I know how also her time is also very precious because she has to reach as many doors as she can to bring her message to people. And welcome folks for Instagram also. I'm sorry that how I cannot have the ability of technology to connect all these platforms, but hopefully I will be able to relate to you. But folks who are joining us on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook are able to see our live. And I know how housing is a big issue. And before we talk about housing, I know you participated environmental debate, which is also very important in our community. When it rains, really, it hits hard in our community. And also in the southern part in our community, we have also in the stockyards, have many issues of environmental issues with concerns of the air we breathe, with water and the soil, and also conservation issues. And I know that the conservative candidates and the liberal candidate, who is also the former, MP, just the parliament just ended, they didn't show up to that debate.
Yeah, I think we forget that some of the things I keep hearing when I'm talking to people is that they really only see their elected official at the federal level when it's time for elections. So during campaign periods, and we forget that it's the constituents that vote in a member of parliament or all of our elected officials. And actually, elected officials are in service to their constituents. They work for their constituents. And so it's somebody called the debate like a job interview, to take a look at the candidates and make a choice about who you'd like to do that job. And when the conservative candidate and the liberal candidate don't show up for the job interview, they really take for granted that the vote is theirs and it's already pre-established. And I think that's often when we go along with that and accept it to be normal, then that's what happens. We don't see our elected officials again until the next campaign period. It's really important that they're there to be held to account for their record, for what they've done in the past, and what they plan to do in the future if they are elected. And so it was, I was there. You will be circulating the link. It was a great opportunity to have a conversation about some of the very big environmental concerns in our riding, issues that people have brought up again, time and time again. It's not rainwater that floods people's basements, it's sewage. Um,
Absolutely. I mean, you're right. An environment in our community is
mhm.
huge issues, and the climate, and it's so sad that those who wants to represent the community are not taking the community seriously. When the community, identifies enough time for them to get ready to come and also participate, and that's also an indication on who is going to work for you. And now you have an opportunity on the advanced polls to go, and I encourage you to do so. I have done it this morning, early in the morning, on a full staff community center where there was it was quick for me to get in and out, and you can do that. So don't wait it on the September 20th. You can do it today until 9 p.m. tonight, and you can also do it Saturday, Sunday, and also Monday as well, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I know also quickly how our housing is a huge issue. We have seen the priority of the Trudeau government, that they are talking about housing, but they are investing, big corporations, handing them money and saying that these are money allocated for affordable, which isn't really. And I know that, is there going to be any housing debates organized by the community to talk about the important issues of housing in our community?
Yeah, there was a national housing debate, which our Liberal candidate managed to show up to, even though he couldn't come to our local debate. But to my knowledge, there is no specific housing debate happening in York Southwestern. But housing is a huge issue. Most folks, if not all folks, 50% of York Southwestern's residents are living in apartment buildings that aren't very well maintained, that aren't very affordable, that people are being rent evicted out of, which means the landlords are kicking them out. They're renovating the units and then increasing the prices in order for people to move back in. And so we've got a real issue with housing. And our former candidate, which a lot of people aren't aware of, was recently responsible for the housing portfolio. And yet we only saw one investment into York Southwestern just before an election was called. York Southwestern isn't an afterthought. We can't be treated as an add-on to a sentence. If we need significant housing investments, and we need them in this riding, and we need them in this riding first and foremost, to support the people who are living here. And so there's a lot more that can be done. And it's important that people talk honestly about the kinds of investments that have been made here, which haven't been very many, so that people have the right information to make the kind of decisions they need to make around who they're going to choose to vote for in this next election.
Absolutely. This is an opportunity, folks, a very important opportunity for our community to send a strong message in this election. And we can do it. We have done it in June 7, 2018. We can do it again. All you need to do it is have the braveness and the commitment, and also making sure that also looking the record of those who have been representing you. And I do believe that we work for you. Those who are elected officials, you are the boss. And now is the time for you to show who is in charge and who is the boss. I know how you have a lot of schedule and a lot of places to go. Is there? I don't think there's any questions at the moment from those who are joining us on Facebook or Instagram. Is there any message you would like to say to speak to people of York Southwestern? I know that people who will be joining us, there are also thousands and thousands who are going to watch it after we end the show, because it's going to be on YouTube, it's going to be on Facebook, and it's going to be also all those platforms as well for your interview.
Yeah.
I know especially the advanced votes. Is there a message you would like to share with the rest of the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So advanced polls are open this weekend. They opened this morning at 9 a.m. and they go right until Monday at 9 p.m. Every day, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And there are 5 locations where you can vote in advance in York Southwestern. You can vote at 501 Alliance Avenue, which is where the returning office is located. You can vote at 50 Falstaff Community. So that's where the Falstaff Community Center is located. You can vote at 1871 Weston Road, which is the Weston Baptist Church. You can vote at 1507 Lawrence Avenue West, which is the York Recreation Center. That's that green and brown building over at Black Creek. And you can vote at, you can vote at Amesbury Community Center, which is at 1507 Lawrence Avenue West, and then at York Recreation Center, which is at 115 Black Creek Drive. If you have not received a voter registration card, please do get in touch either with our office. You can email us at hawa.mere at ndp.ca, because it means that there might be a different process to put you through to make sure that you're able to vote in time. If you'd like to coordinate a ride, if mobility is an issue for you, please do get in touch with us. But we really encourage folks, considering the uncertainty of COVID, to take advantage of the advanced polls. It's 4 days to go out and vote now, because we know election day will be very busy. And we want to minimize exposure and risk for all of those, especially those who are most vulnerable in our community. So if you can vote this weekend, please do. And of course, we're looking forward to your support for me as the NDP candidate, because we have a very strong chance to change this riding for the better.
Absolutely, folks, you have heard, and I endorsed Hawa Mire. She's a strong local voice, and we need people who have roots and deep roots in our community that care, and also that are going to fight for our community. And please support and please vote and show your determination and your braveness to go to the polls and vote before September 20th. You have this week, Saturday and Sunday. And well, Howard, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
No problem. Thanks for having me. It was nice to see you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Howard. Thank you very much. And thank you, folks, for joining us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also YouTube. And I know that also Jerry Grossi joined us. And Jerry has a question. And thank you, Jerry, for joining us. And those who are also joining us on Instagram, Jerry is joining us Instagram. And she says, whatever happened to the investigation with basement flooding, the provincial ombudsman, I feel like no level of government have really tackled anything, a lot of talk, but that's all. I think that is a legitimate concern, because I know that Jerry has have been a victim to many flooding, and like her neighbors, like many members of our community, and flooding is also an issue that affects in our community. And also when it rains hard, and we know that also the government has been also putting investments, many investments in terms of infrastructure. And what happens in that community where Jerry lives is that they have did some constructions, but again, because of cutting corners and because of the issues of the construction issues, and then also it also floods again. And there has been a call for the community requesting an investigation. Why so much money has been spent, but again, when it came to finishing at the end and doing the right things, it hasn't happened. So there have to be a recourse. So the community wanted the Toronto Ombudsman to look into it. And the Toronto Ombudsman have actually spoke to the community, have interviewed them. At the end, they have not included their reports. And that's why Jerry and others have contacted our office and looking for accountability to look into the provincial ombudsman to look into this. And Jerry says quickly, what about accountability from the city government and provincial government? And that's a very good question. And if there is a project that the city or the provincial is doing, and that project is approved, and the work is going on, and at the end, who checks that project? If those projects are being spent money and the problem still happens again, then the community deserves an answer why that is the case. And this is exactly the work designed for the ombudsman to do. And I agree, Jerry, we want accountability, absolutely, from municipal authorities and municipal governments, as well as the Ontario government. We are holding them accountable from the provincial government every day, and we'll continue to do that. And definitely with this case, that the community have wanted to request the ombudsman to look into this, and the city ombudsman says, they did not include this issue at all. We don't know why. They have not explained to the community, so they have approached us to bring the Ontario Ombudsman to look into this. And the Ontario Ombudsman we have contacted, they were saying that the Toronto is a special category because they have their own ombudsman, and there is also jurisdiction issues, and we have been providing them a lot of information back and forth to look into this, and that's why Jerry is asking this question about accountability and what the Ontario Ombudsman is doing to look those projects that the provincial resources has been spent here. And again, also, Jerry says, so where are we at? Because I'm tired of talking. I have gone to the city ombudsman, provincial ombudsman's audit general, and I get nothing. Sorry, city ombudsman. Well, I think the point here is, I think I agree, if the community is concerned about accountability, and the ombudsman has a mandate to look into this, they should look into this. And if they have interviewed the community about that specific issues in our community, then they should be releasing that report to the public so that we get the bottom of it, why that has happened. And I know that I've also, in 2018, in summer, I was also there when all the city councillors, I think one of the city councillors was there then, I think then it was Ward 12, and we were there, and they did their best. They have brought every single person from the engineers of the city, and there was some sort of a positive message to help the community move forward and provide them answers. And I think now, we will continue, Jerry, to press on behalf of the community to get answers, and that's where we are. We're still the ombudsman, Ontario Ombudsman, is saying that, oh, this is Ontario's jurisdiction to do this. It's not us to get involved, and we're looking ways they can get involved to make sure there's accountability here. And I agree with you. And I know those quickly. I will take also Jerry, other folks who are joining me on Facebook, but also Jerry says the city ombudsman was directed to look at the flooding claims, and that is all under the mandate of the local councillor. Waste of time, patience, and energy. I really appreciate Jerry for taking the time and for joining me this afternoon, because it's very important that the community is outraged, they're angry when the government is not working for them. When the ombudsman is given a mandate to look into these kinds of issues and they simply don't do or say, we are not going to cover this on their reports, then why are you interviewing the community? And absolutely. And if that's the case, I think you guys have contacted me, and we have engaged with the provincial ombudsman, and I think it's important. The people have to believe that the government is working for them, and this is the way to do it. And basement flooding is a major issue, folks, in York Southwestern. It happens again and again, and when it rains hard, we are worried each and every time for our community. And instead of fixing this, they are putting not really putting it smart, infrastructure investment, and the community deserves that. Also, I've also advocated for the community for immediate relief those affected on flooding, absolutely, because they do deserve it. And thank you, Jerry, and we will be able to follow up again and found out if they are taking the case to look into it or what the situation is there. I definitely will follow up. And their question was, it is City of Toronto is a special category, and because of that reason, we are looking, where they can get involved. And my idea is that if it's the City of Toronto is under the provincial authorities, government, then we should be able to have ways to look into this, or they have to do their job. And I think that's fair, so that the community feels, that they are being responded and responsive to them, and the responsibilities of those authorities. Well, thank you, Jerry, for joining us, and we will be in touch. Okay, thank you. And others also who are joining us, also Facebook, welcome, and thank you. And also here, Brandon says, since the provincial of the province of Ontario is demanding a vaccine passport for people. Will you be talking to owner of Golden Crisp Fish, Crispy Fish and Chips this week? The owner of Golden Crisp Fish and Chip to close his restaurant for in-person dining. When will you be meeting with the owner of Golden Crisp Fish and Chip? Well, thank you. That's a very good question. I'm not aware, Brandon, the details of what exactly yeah, the situation is. Definitely, we need to get more information about it, and then I'll be able or a better positioned to respond or to get back to you on that. Okay, and well, thank you. And we want to support our businesses definitely, and we want to. They have already struggled. Our small businesses, they have been struggling. Some of them even before the pandemic. I know that the Eglinton Crosstown have been struggling before the pandemic. They have struggled, and now during the pandemic as well, because of the construction of Eglinton Crosstowns, they have suffered enough. And now they have not been given any relief. They have not been supported by Metrolink or the Ministry of Transportation, and the community have written petitions. They have conveyed and they have written letters to the Minister of Transportation to address it, and to address it by providing direct investment. The Minister of Transportation says that they're going to disperse $3 million to the members of the BIA on the Eglinton Crosstown. And the members of our community of the Eglinton Hill BIA have requested direct support. They said that they don't want cleaning their windows because they can do that for themselves. Okay, and they want a support, direct support for the sufferings, the disruptions, and the difficulties they have faced. This long Eglinton Crosstown project, and definitely we need to make sure that they are supported, and we want this government to support them. And definitely, I've written also the Minister of Transportation, Caroline Maroney, to make sure that our community and communities like us that have struggled with Eglinton Crosstown, that they support it. And definitely we'll be following up. And I know that the community, the small business owners on the BIA and members, they are also organizing another petition. And I'll be happy as soon as I receive it to table it at the legislature. But the problem is, we're supposed to be going back at the legislature on September 13. The conservative, Ford conservatives have brogued the parliament. What that means is we cannot go back in September 13th. So they're saying we have to go. The parliament will convene October 4th. We are not even sure if that is the date we're going to go back, and there are many issues I want to talk to them, and that's why I'm here, speaking to you and hearing your concerns to make sure if the parliament is not working, is being just prorogued, and that's not right. We need to do the people's work and to continue sitting and continue to debating and talking about the important issues of our community. For example, Jerry, short ago, we were talking about the issue of flooding in our community. And we know that I've also, the community asked the government to give them direct relief, on flooding, because of the so much issues that's happening that our community needs help with that. So the parliament is the place to bring these issues into and to talk about it. But now the Ford conservatives have brogued, and that means then it will take a couple of weeks more to wait all these issues. But definitely you can count on me fighting on your behalf and holding them also accountable. And welcome, Jerry, and also welcome, Jihan, and also thank you, Yarek, says, keep up the great work. Well, thank you for joining Instagram as well. Well, just give me a minute. Well, thank you, those of you who are joining Faisal Hassan, NDP. I'm your member Provincial Parliament, and I join you every Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. And you can join also YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe it. You can also join me my Instagram as well, and also Facebook, and also Twitter. The new school year has arrived, folks. I cannot tell you how excited I was to hear the excitement and the energy of the of neighbors' children as they prepare to return to the classroom after a long and difficult school year. They have been looking forward to gathering with friends again, and I know many parents are eager to have the children back in social setting of a classroom. It is also an important day for educators and staff who have gone through a great deal of preparation for this school year. School communities are heartbeat of a neighborhood, and I'm very pleased to see them return to life. I just wish that the parents and educators would have received more support. Sorry. I just wish that parents and educators would have received more support from the government to ensure the safety of our young children in schools. And teachers and parents and also education workers. Parents have had their hands full in Ontario. Our province has seen more disruption to education than any other province in the country. And there is no desire to return to the frustrating days of the third wave lockdown. That is why parents, educators, public health parents, and community stakeholders have all urged the government to take further steps to open schools safely and keep them open. Medical experts agree that the vaccines have been safe and effective at keeping the virus under control. But the Delta variant will be a challenge to deal with. We must ensure our schools are as safe and healthy as they can be for our children and our community. For months, I have been urging the government to bring forward more substantial investments in preparation for the school year. Smaller class sizes would allow for a safer social distancing and improved ventilation with minimum quality standards would provide for safer conditions for students and teachers in the classroom. Substantial investments in mental health supports are also vital to the well-being of children that have struggled during this traumatic time. Basic days and family care days for everyone would allow families to care for themselves or loved ones and prevent further community spread. These measures, when combined with rapid testing and a proactive strategy to offer vaccines for children under 12 when they are available, will be key to keeping schools open. I hope the first day was a successful one for parents, educators, and students, and look forward to your support as we continue to urge the government to take further action to support our little ones and our teachers and parents and education workers as well. Folks, also this week we have heard about the provincial court has ruled that the provincial government violated, the Ford Conservatives violated the law with passage of Bill 197 this past summer. The province has previously used the so-called MZOs to fast-track developments, including in environmentally sensitive areas such as the Green Belt. a three-judge panel ruled that the government unreasonably and unlawfully failed to adhere to the Environmental Bill of Rights by failing to properly consult with the public prior to passage of the bill. This is, folks, friends, neighbors, and brothers and sisters, this is a victory for the environmental movement and reminder to the government that it needs to ensure the people of Ontario are consulted on matters affecting the environment. And also, every matter and every issue that should be consulted by the people of Ontario, because the government works for the people. And I think the decision of the three-judge was the right thing to do. And I think that was excellent. And now we have an opportunity to stop them. And this is very important, folks, that the court have ruled this illegal act. And it's very important that also we hold them accountable. And next year, also you will have an opportunity to send a strong message, and that will be a provincial election, and that is June 2nd, 2022. And at the meantime, we are also in the middle of a federal election, an election that no one wanted it, an election that the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, called for these elections simply because he wants to have more power. You know, he doesn't want to work anyone else. He doesn't want to work other parties. But the parliament was shown that was working just fine. And now he wants to have a majority government. And to me, you know, this is an opportunity to really send to Ottawa people who could advocate and also make sure they are fighting for you and that they are putting our community first. And we need a representation and a strong voice in Ottawa. So this morning, I had the opportunity to actually go out and vote on the advance polls, because the advance polls opened this morning from 9 a.m. and it's going to be open until 9 p.m. tonight. And that's an opportunity for you to, if you have the time, go and vote. Bank your vote quickly. And also tomorrow it will be open. And as also earlier, we had our federal NDP candidate, Hawa Mire, joined me. And also you can also, if you missed it, you can actually watch it after. And basically, you can get involved. Her office is located 57 Eglinton Avenue West. So you can also check it out, and but also you can vote. Tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday, and also a Monday. That will be the September 10th to September 13th. So don't wait till September 20th. Make sure you vote early. And so that's also, and also, well, here, Sarah. Join Sarah. Thanks for joining us. And Sarah says, Faisal Hassan, you are the best NDP leader. And I am not the leader of the NDP, Sarah. My leader is Andrea Horvat, and she's doing a fantastic job. She will be the perfect premier we need in this province. And I'm so proud to be part of her team. And Sarah says, yes, vote. Indeed, vote. And don't wait. Vote. Welcome, folks. Those who are also joining on Instagram are welcome. And also, those also are joining also YouTube, welcome. Well, think about it, folks. This is an important election. Think about yourself. The question you will ask is, are you better off or you are worse off for the last 6 years? The last 6 years, when Justin Trudeau was elected as a prime minister, was October, I believe, 19th, 2015. And now, today is September 10th, 2021. Are you worse off or you are better off? And this is, I think, a question you should ask yourself. And, well, you are making that decision to vote. and it's very important. And also, you need also to have voices that will fight for you. And also, it's proven that when you vote NDP representation or NDP elected members of parliament or members provincial parliament, they get results. And that's also something that's very important that you will also think about when you go to the polls. And send Hawa Mire to Ottawa, and you can do that because you've also sent Mike Sullivan, my former boss, who has served this community honorably. He did excellent job, as you know, as you can remember. I was his constituency assistant, and he worked very hard for our community, and that's a tradition I also continue to work on behalf of our community. His office was also open Saturdays. Think about Saturdays being also open for access to your a member of parliament addressing the important issues. And that's also the same thing that Howard will continue that tradition and will make sure that you will have a strong provincial representation and federal representation as well. But this is the decision day, or a week. So make that decision, and I encourage you to do so, because Howard will work very hard. She will not let us down, and I'll make sure we work together to deliver results for federally and as well, as we do provincially here. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me this afternoon. And before, folks, I was joining you Saturdays, and the reason you have asked for me to continue this platform is because of the pandemic. When the pandemic began, there were no ways we can communicate because the only way we were able to communicate was phoning you. And also, some of you said, why don't you join us live on social media? And I said, that's a great idea. And I've asked what time is the best to do so. And you guys said from 3 to 4. And that's why we've been joining you from 3 to 4 every day, every Saturday. And then also because the summer came and it was a beautiful summer. And I know everybody's enjoying that beautiful, because a lot of us, we were indoors, and I understand also joining such a beautiful day outside. But if you are not able to join, definitely we'll make sure that you can also watch it afterwards, hear what I am fighting and what the community also is concerned about. And that's also something we will continue until everything comes to normal, so people could come to the office, because now our office is working, but through appointments. You can call if you need any help, provincial support or services or programs or anything. Our office can help you with provincial jurisdictions. You can call the constituency number here at 416-243-7984. You can also email me fhassan-co@ndp.on.ca. And that's how you can also reach me. Also, if you want to receive my newsletter, you can subscribe it. You can visit my website, faisalhassan.ca, and click on newsletter. And you can also click there and also go to subscribe. And you can subscribe it and you'll be able to receive it, regularly, to update you what I'm fighting. Also, you can also join me on Saturday. You can join me on Fridays from 7 p.m. And as we, continue to do this, we'll be able also to share with me your concerns, the issues that you care about, or if you have a quick question, I'll be able to answer them. I never turn down any question, as tough as those questions might be, because I'm accountable to you. I work for you. I'm your member of provincial parliament. And if I'm not able to answer the question, I'll be able to do it the next time. Okay, continue that a platform. And also, folks, there are many issues, at stake in this election, and so I encourage you to vote. And I know, less people are voting every year, but if you don't vote, and then you complain, then I say to you, it's good to complain. It's good to hold your elected members accountable. Yes, I welcome that. That's good. But also make sure you exercise your right to vote. You're right. People have fought for the rights to vote, and now you have that right. Then take advantage, send strong message to you know to the political parties and to any representative you might have, so that way you will then elect someone you want to work for you. And I think that's key here. And I think the NDP have proven to get results for the community. As you know, many things we are proud of came the initiatives of the New Democrats, of course, and this community also. We had strong representations, people who have represented this community on behalf of the New Democrats. And I'm also come from that tradition to continue that strong new democratic representation. We won't take your vote for granted. We will work hard to earn your trust and confidence. And next year, of course, it will be an important election as well. But now I encourage you, this is an important election. Go out, vote on the advanced polls, and it is happening. It just begun this morning at 9 a.m. It opened, and it will be open until 9 p.m. And you have 5 locations in the riding, of course, assigned because of your geographical location. But if you're living in our community, you'll be voting those 5 locations. Just Seat Elections Canada registration ID card, which they sent to you, and you take that, and one ID will be sufficient. And if you haven't received the card, you can still go. And if you go one of the nearest advance polls, they will direct you exactly where you'll be voting. So that's also something you can do, and do it also if you are not able to do it tonight until 9 p.m. Then you have opportunity to do it tomorrow, Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and also a Sunday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and also Monday, 9 a.m. and to 9 p.m. And also our federal candidate is Hawa Mire. She joined today. She joined me to also encourage you to go out and vote. And please do so. And let us paint or an orange representation here in York Southwestern federally. The last representation we have was Mike Sullivan, and you remember the work he has done in the community. He represented well in our community, because I could say that because I was his constituency assistant, worked in his office, and he was really worked hard on our community. And this will also make sure that also that work also and legacy continues, that representation on behalf of our community. So our candidate, if you haven't met her, is Hawa Mire, a federal NDP candidate. So please visit her headquarters. It's 25 67, yes, Eglinton Avenue West. It's the major intersection of Kill and Eglinton in the heart of Killsdale. So visit there and make sure you meet her. If you have any questions, ask her, and also vote as well. Okay. Thank you very much. And I know I'm coming close to the end of my time, but I'll be joining you again another Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to hear your concerns and to also take some of your questions and also read also your comments as well. And here we have Al, who's saying, thanks for all you do. I appreciate it. He's joining us on Instagram. Well, thank you. And also those who have also joining us on YouTube, thank you. And those also who have joined us on Twitter, thank you. And also those who are joining us on Faisal Hassan NDP Facebook, also thank you. And Sarah says also, thank you, Faisal, and you're welcome. You are welcome too. Thank you, and everyone who have joined. And that's it for me, folks. If you want to contact my office, you can reach me at Faisal Hassan -co at ndp.on.ca. You can write to me. You can also subscribe to my newsletter. You can also phone at 416-243-7984. That is 416-243-7984. Thank you, folks. Until then, I will see you again next Saturday. But please, friends and neighbors and brothers and sisters, make sure you vote. Make sure you vote, and you vote for Hawa Mire, okay? And so we can send Hawa Mire to Ottawa so we could have a partner I can work with, okay? Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Ciao.